हाय। पहले ही मैं देखना चाहूँगा कि आवाज़ ठीक आ रही है या नहीं। हेलो हेलो, 1 2 3 1 2 3 3 2 1 3 2 1। दीवाना दीवाना मस्ताना। आई कैन लिसन टू वो बूम 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 बूम, वो इसकी वजह से। हेलो 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 हेलो। आई थिंक इट्स फाइन। हाय। SHT कौन सा कोर्स है? पाइथन, इंट्रोडक्शन टू पाइथन, CS50, एडेक्स का जो है ना वो। वेलकम टू द स्ट्रीम ब्रदर। वैसे मैं देख रहा था यहाँ पे आने से पहले एक इंटरेस्टिंग वीडियो, मे बी थोड़े मिनट्स वो देख लेते हैं।
Creates behavior are
This is Dr. K. Which year? I'm in third year, but I'm not in engineering or tech. I'm in humanities, political science. आप कौन से ईयर में? And which branch? I guess you will be in CS or something. मैंने लिखा था कुछ अब तक इस वीडियो पे। कि ओके, first year CS, so nice. You have a lot of time, brother. वैसे do subscribe, हाँ, what addiction does two things he was saying prior to this part here. It gives pleasure and removes pain. And there's nucleus accumbens. Just thought of dropping by and saying hi. Hello, Lil Carrie. You were there in last stream as well, I remember. Keep doing what you're doing. You are my motivator. So he was saying about motivation key. It's not one part of brain. Like there's no motivation center in brain. Like because I've seen his other videos as well. So I know that there are emotional center, the dopamine center in brain, but motivation center नहीं होता brain में. It's an emergent property. Means it comprises of a lot of different things. Let's say ego, identity. Yes, but when you are motivated to do something, we have learned now कि make a system like from books such as Atomic Habits and other books which inspires you to create system around you so that you can work in that system. So there will be a little less pull. Things will happen smoothly. You'll be able to create habits in the system according to your suit. I'm not sure if this goes well with that or not. What is that? ये कौन सा sound था? अच्छा. एक सेकंड. So सिंह had okay. तो उन्होंने बताया कि when you are motivated to do something, it's not a good thing, it's a problem, because you are not in control in that scenario. Let's say you are motivated to do some A kind of stuff. That means you are not motivated to do B kind of stuff. Now your wants cannot decide what is good for you, A or B. In some part, let's say that goes well with you, but still you're dependent on that motivation. When situation changes, your motivation will change, and then you're screwed. So the idea is to why not 5? क्या 5 नहीं? So the idea is to take action irrespective of your motivation, which is also mentioned in Gita, which also Krishna says about it. Hi bro. Hello Afan. So when you see Krishna's thing from this perspective, from psychological neurological perspective in modern thing, you can put it better when he says that why only 2, why not 5? Okay problems I have, वो तो मैंने ऐसे ही लिख दिया था. वाई नॉट 5? क्योंकि मैं 2 ही बचे हैं मेरे। एक लेक्चर के साथ एक प्रॉब्लम सेट आता है जिसमें मोस्टली 4 प्रॉब्लम्स होते हैं, तो आई हैव डन 2। मेरे को एक लेक्चर और देखना पड़ेगा। नॉट श्योर इफ आई कैन वॉच इट ऑन स्ट्रीम। So when he says कि you should get your mind in control of you, और एक एनालॉजी भी है, एक डिपिक्शन भी है कि 5 कौड़े हैं विच इज़ योर इंद्रिय। पाइथन कहाँ से कर रहे हो? आई एम पाइथन तो मैं CS50 से कर रहा हूँ, अपना हार्वर्ड का जो फ्री कोर्स होता है ना, एडेक्स। मैंने पहले 2-3 महीने पहले स्टार्ट किया था। पाई, ओके। 2-3 महीने पहले स्टार्ट किया था मैंने यूट्यूब से, बट देन आई थॉट कि इट्स जस्ट थ्योरी एंड थ्योरी, आई एम नॉट डूइंग literal stuff, so I started this thing where you also get to solve problems after every lecture, so that your concept solidifies, and that's helping me. I think now I want to watch it for a few minutes, then we'll jump to coding. Just want to watch it for आपकी आवाज़ में अलग सुकून है। आप एक गाना क्यों नहीं सुनाते? I want to sing as well, bro. बट मेरे को लिरिक्स याद नहीं रहता, क्योंकि वैसे अमन भाई आप ये वाला माइक ले लो, दिस माइक इज़ वेरी गुड। इससे आपकी आवाज़ में भी सुकून आ जाएगा।
Emotions are very powerful. So
ओके, टेल मी इन द चैट इफ इसका आवाज़ ना आए इस वीडियो का ठीक से, क्योंकि मुझे तो आ रहा होगा। अगर आपको ना आए तो बताना। बेवफा 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 निकली रे तू, बहुत ही घटिया गाना है।
if we look at like what is the evolutionary function of emotions, emotions give us, so motivation is oftentimes highly emotional. So if we look at the part of
भाई ये स्क्रीन में चैट कैसे ऐड करा आपने? थ्रू स्ट्रीम लैब्स आ रहा है ऑडियो, गुड। पैसे नहीं है इतना महंगा लेने का, मतलब धीरे धीरे आ जाएगा। स्ट्रीम लैब्स या फिर नाइट बॉट से? नो, थ्रू स्ट्रीम लैब्स।
of our brain that creates behavior, our emotions are very powerful. So if we look at like what is the evolutionary function of emotions, emotions give us information and they give us motivation. So if I feel angry, I will feel like doing something. If I feel afraid, it will motivate me to run away. The problem though is that emotions vary. That's the way they're
So, okay, behind story of emotion as well, there is this thing that emotion are generally for, emotions gets developed uh, through evolution, of course. कि ओके इवोल्यूशन का ऑलमोस्ट ट्रेट है बेसिकली सर्वाइवल एंड थ्रू सर्वाइवल लॉट ऑफ डिफरेंट थिंग्स कम्स एंड emotions are there in beings because ki they want to survive, correct? So now in my emotion जो भी मेरी बॉडी है it'll send signals related to what is best for me to survive. तो बेसिकली अगर कुछ इमरजेंसी सिचुएशन हुई तो उससे रिलेटेड इमोशंस आएंगे. फिर वट एवर इज़ बेस्ट फॉर मी टू सर्वाइव, सो इट्स हेल्पिंग थिंग बेसिकली इमोशंस. इट्स ऑल्सो अ फीडबैक लूप कि what is lacking and what is needed for you to do now. सो मेरे को याद आ रहा है कि जेफ बेजोस ने भी कहा था कि एंजाइटी कम्स फ्रॉम दिस थिंग कि व्हेन यू आर अवॉइडिंग your emotions tells you to do things which is needed right now. When you avoid it, then basically it's related na somehow.
Supposed to be. They don't last forever, right? So if I can have the perfect wedding day, it does not mean that I will have the perfect marriage, right? I won't be happy for the rest of my life because I have this one perfect day. So our brain has this very natural principle of homeostasis, which means that we experience joy and then the joy goes away. And so then what we end up doing is chasing those things that bring us joy. That would be great, except there's another principle in the brain of tolerance. So if I eat one cookie, it's delicious.
Right.
If I eat a second cookie, it's not quite as tasty. If I eat a third cookie, now I'm feeling full.
True.
Right? And even then, oftentimes, if I think about getting that cookie tomorrow, it's not going to be as good as the first time I have it. So now we're kind of stuck because our motivation is going to wax and wane with our.
It's same with dopamine. If you get a dopamine hit, you want more. So maybe the thing is कि the difference between the length of dopamine creates that hit. So whenever you go from this peak to this peak, the difference is very less. You want more.
Emotions. We're trying to cultivate these past experiences over and over again to try to keep us motivated, and it just doesn't work. So what can we do? This is where we're going to focus on a principle from kind of Eastern philosophy called karma fara. So karma is action and fara means fruit. So there's a really simple principle that the more that you devote yourself to your actions instead of outcomes, the more.
So I think yeah, we get to crux of it. मेरे को सुनना था कि क्या होगा आगे. So we reach here. Fine, let's do. First of all, I have to check. मैंने last time जो किया था वो कोड स्पेस खुल नहीं रहा था ये, तो मैंने लोकल VS कोड में डाला था, बट थ्रू चेक 50 एंड सबमिट हाउ टू चेक कि क्या वो वर्क कर रहा है. Oh fuck. Now here if I check कि क्या सब कुछ परफेक्ट है. ओके नहीं है तो ठीक है कोड कैसे. हाँ ठीक है. Let me check for second one. पिज़्ज़ा पाई के लिए ये भी बनाई दिया ना. ओके and code for it is over here. Import tablet is not working. What the fuck? Maybe I haven't installed tablet over here. That's why. Okay, got it. वहाँ पे हमने किया था, यहाँ पे नहीं किया. Why still problem? I think ये प्रॉब्लम फिक्स हो गया है. विल रिफ्रेश एंड ये सो होगा. बट ओके लेट्स चेक इट. three three unsmiley, non-smiley, sad faces. Pizza.py exits are given no command line arguments. Expected non-zero exit code. So exits given no command line arguments. Should it not exit because हमें तो कहा गया था कि exit किया जाए. Should exit using sys.exit and provide an error message to few command line arguments. Expected non-zero exit code. Exits given non-existent file. Expected non-zero exit code is exits given non-CSV file. Expected non-zero exit code. What does it even mean? Exit code 0 means everything went fine. Does not equal 0 means something went wrong. Program exited successfully, but it should have failed. Okay. Got it. So there is sys.exit 0 and 1. 0 is by default. When you explicitly put 1 in there, means fine. We have to just do that, and I think it should be good. Now same check 50. So this is signed to maybe backend or whoever is, writing all the stuff कि कैसे exit हुआ. For that we solve two problems, two sad faces को बदला. Sort of exits given non-existent file, expected non-zero exit code. Is it still non-zero exit? Okay, fine. Given non-existent file, that should be over here. Try to open with this, with open as file, except file not found error. So we have to change this thing over here as well. It should be all smileys. It is. Now this problem is there because हमने don't tell me कि ये खुलेगा नहीं. खुल गया. Okay, all smileys again, and there is no error, no syntax error. Fine. I'm going to submit my pizza. lines.py में कुछ इशू है इसमें तो now back to this fine अगर हम फिर से देखें कि क्या इशू है ELS 3 given a file with 3 lines of code. ELS 4 given a file with 4 lines of code. ELS 5 given a file with 5 lines, white space and comments expected 7 actual 7 new line. Sure. अगर यहाँ पे ये ठीक है lines and white space में it's not making any thing then there is issue in comments comment में कोई issue है which we are not catching comments and docstring okay maybe comments में कुछ issue है 2058 given 2058 lines of code in an open source library file can't check until okay ये तो check ही नहीं हुआ and ये check नहीं हुआ okay lines to exits given 0 command line arguments expected non-zero exit code same thing with this as well key exit code should be 1 not 0 शायद सब में if I rerun it just to check if those problems get solved or not okay this is fine this ये check नहीं हुआ I have to see if it works for comments or not for Python file and outputs the number of for Python file and outputs the number of let me create new Python file just over here where I will write comments something like and let's write a line of code according to our program and a blank line Is this CS50? Yes. Welcome to the stream, Daivik. Now, what else was there? Uh, it expects basically a line of code, comment, white space, and there is also docstring. We'll also put in docstring over here. Docstring कैसे होती थी? This is docstring. Ideally, this should output uh, कितनी line of code है? 2 है. We also have comment, so it will not count comments, not count this. This is not comment, so maybe it will count इसको भी. So 5 should be output. Now let's try. With command line argument, what's your count dot by? Let's see, 5, which I doubt is correct. Is not correct. Okay, 1, 2. No, it's correct. 3, 4, and 5. 6 and 10 is not. There's nothing inside it. Still not sure. Fine. How about let this be only let this only be comments, code, and blank line. Now it is 2. Correctly so. So it is not counting comments. So why is there an error where else 5 given a file with 5 lines, white space and comments, expected 5, but actually it gives 7 with new line. जब इन्होंने सेम थिंग 3 and 4 किया तो मेरे को वैसे भी न्यू लाइन नहीं चाहिए. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल न्यू लाइन नहीं चाहिए मुझे. बट इवन इफ cursor is moving to new line, why is there 2 का gap? Expected output is 5. Your program out printed 7. Of course, it's counting too many lines. You're counting white spaces, line and or counting. Says it wants you to count. Okay. I think I have added strip. My logic is that these are for conditionals where in some you don't input a command line argument, and fine. Now here you open a file which you enter इसमें भी वन आएगा. Read as file lines is equal to file dot read lines except file not found error system etc. Count initialized to 0 for line in lines if line dot starts with hashtag count and if line dot strip is good. Okay. Let's add over here that line is equal to line dot strip. And here, so we don't need to add this. Maybe since dot strip was there for blank space और comments के लिए नहीं था, maybe that's why ये error आता था. डॉकस्ट्रिंग के लिए हमने कुछ मेथड नहीं बनाया, बट फाइन, डॉकस्ट्रिंग की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी बिकॉज हमारे कंडीशंस में we try to count everything except few things, so that is blank space and comment. तो डॉकस्ट्रिंग के लॉजिक डालने की ज़रूरत नहीं पड़ी बिकॉज वी आर काउंटिंग एवरीथिंग, subtracting few things. Okay, but what was it? Line dot strip, so you strip the space from आगे से और पीछे से. if comment को ये लॉजिक नहीं मिलता, line dot starts with hashtag then counts 0. Okay, got it. Now what will happen is hashtag, this is comment structure. Now nahi, this is comment, but what I'll do is for this line I'll jump few spaces and then put comment over here. Technically this is comment, but since line is not starting with hashtag, we don't count it as comment. So that was the problem earlier. Now for comment as well, we strip the space, so it does start with hashtag. Fine, let's submit it. Fine. Now, the third problem, which is this. Scogify. Don't even know what does it mean. Well said, tongues slamming the trunks. Let's start. At least it's all in. That could do with a bit of cleaning too. She pointed her wand at Hedwig's cage. Scogify. A few feathers and droppings vanished. Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. Data too often needs to be cleaned as by reformatting it so that values are in a consistent, if not more convenient format. It needs reformatting. Okay. Consider, for instance, this CSV files of students. Before.csv below. What does Scogify mean? In the Harry Potter universe, first of all, I need to remove chroma key from here. Where is it? नहीं है यहाँ पे तो. यहाँ पे भी नहीं है. तो समटाइम्स आई सी कि ग्रीन चला जाता है. पता नहीं है तो नहीं. क्रोमा की तो नहीं है. Often needs to be cleaned by reformatting. Even though each row in the file has 3 values, student, name of the house, last name, first name and house, and first two are combined into one column. Yeah, because there's hashtag, escaped with double quotes. So because of double quotes, this comma will not get counted. When you use CSV module, it will count this comma and differentiate based on that into categories, or you can say as keys, name and house, 2 values. With last name and first name separated by a comma and space, not ideal if Hogwarts wants to send a form letter to its student as via mail merge, since it be strange to start a letter with Dear Potter Harry rather than with, for instance, Dear Harry. In a file called Scogify.py, implement a program that expects the user to provide 2 command line arguments. The name of an existing CSV file to read as input, whose columns are assured to be in order. Fine, so first we have to change it, maybe. Name and house, and the name of a new CSV. No. Name and house, and the name of new CSV to write as output, whose columns should be in order, first, last, and house. Converts that input to that output, splitting each name into first name and last name. Assume that each student will have both a first name and last name. If the user does not provide exactly two command line arguments, or if the first cannot be read, the program should exit via sys.exit with an error message. We have to basically copy that code last wala for such conditional or corner cases, or enter the barriers for CLI. Let's build from there. मैं तो hints देख ही देता हूँ. Not that CSV module comes with quite a few methods, among which are dictator, dictwriter. You can tell a dictwriter to write its field names to a file using write header with no arguments. Yeah, dictwriter field names is equal to to. So it returns. इसके बाद what do we have to do? सो हाँ, बेसिकली हमारा कोड क्या करेगा कि न्यू CSV में चेंज करेगा. वी विल री राइट इट एज आउटपुट. फाइन. Does not provide exactly two command line arguments. पहले इसको मैं कर लेता हूँ. हमारे पास था lines.py which will be useful for now. It is Gorgify. Where you'll get your program, be sure to run. ये मेरे को सुनने आया क्या? मेगा फाइल कॉल्स का. Right here, be sure to run wget before. Okay, it downloads before.csv. maybe it is this file before.csv. This is before.csv. And we have before.csv. We will create after.csv ourselves. This will be our first command line argument. ये नहीं करना था, स्प्लिट नहीं करना था मुझे. Now, if length of cs.argv is, we want 3 command line arguments, so not less than 2 but 3. Here as well, 3. cs.argv not, this is not condition, but क्या था कि too few command line arguments and too many command line arguments. Okay. स्टार्ट आरक्वी की लेंथ 3 से छोटी है, स्टार्ट आरक्वी की लेंथ 3 से बड़ी है. फाइन, ये तो हो गया. एंड द थर्ड वाज कि if the invalid file.csv doesn't exist, invalid file.csv output.csv in file.csv doesn't exist, I should exit via sys.exit and run an error message. So this happens when you try to open. So it has nothing to do with here. I want to start some good practice कि before अंधाधुंध कोड करें, हम कुछ भी लिख दे. I want कि I do this thing, brainstorm or whatever, कि कैसे प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व करूँगा मैं, लाइक अ फ्रेमवर्क कि कैसे कैसे. No, if I'll screen mirror then मेरे को दिखेगा नहीं ना. क्या है हमारे पास? फर्स्ट की file name and CLI1 and CLI2. CLI1 will be not fixed CSV and CLI2 will be output CSV, which most likely we will rewrite. Or मतलब fully write. This will be before.csv, this one, yeah. So first of all, we have to open before.csv, which we will open with open before.csv. ये करेंगे हम. We will read this thing. As file and हमें क्या चाहिए कि for now we will read this because write तो किसी और में किसी और फाइल में करेंगे. We want कि we hover over each line. Yes, yeah, we have to. Do I need to put this open function in a thing where we want to write ना? हाँ, ये अगर ऐसे ही रहा तो इसका कोई मतलब नहीं है. So first we need to open file which we want to output, which our program will rewrite. तो वही तो ओपन करना पड़ेगा पहले. यहाँ पे ओके ये है और ये है. क्या हमें सारे कॉमा निकालने होंगे और डबल कोट? If we remove all the double quotes from here, then we can assign field names, first name, last name and house. अगर ये हट जाए तो ठीक है, then there will be things to differentiate. तो 3 पार्ट हो जाएंगे. We need to remove comma or double quote, sorry. So for that to remove, we'll go for line in name, if somehow for line in name, if it includes double quote, remove it. There is this function change dot change or something, जो भी है, मतलब उसको एक्सचेंज करके हम स्पेस डाल देंगे वहाँ पे. हाँ तो क्लियर है, यही करना है. और यहाँ पे sys डॉट एग्जिट डालेंगे जब हम ओपन कर रहे हैं फर्स्ट फाइल को. साउंड कहाँ से आ रहा है यार, पता नहीं चल पा रहा. With open command line argument 3 basically sys dot argv 3. In write as file. Okay, now okay, I want to open ये वाली file in this, but now how do I do it? क्या ये कर सकता हूँ? क्या था, डिक्ट राइटर था ना? डिक्ट रीडर एंड डिक्ट राइटर. बोल क्या कैसे यूज़ करते थे वैसे? since this is CSV file. I'm confused here. If I write directly, here I cannot use dict writer because कि वहाँ पे double quote है. To remove double quote I have to open the first file. But I cannot write in that file to make changes in this one. How about we first write जो भी है same as the first file वो ही write करता हूँ. फिर then we will change. So our first thing is to write as it is. जो भी है यहाँ पे maybe it will be slower. how about now we append to this? I want to ask, can we as argument to write or dict right in you can't pass a whole life object directly to right row or dict writer to right row. It's many rows at once using the right method. So there is right row and dict writer, but it cannot copy whole file. You have to write each individual line. पहले सारे methods जान लेते हैं. What we can do is also read before line, put it into variable. हाँ, पुट इनटू वेरिएबल, और वो वेरिएबल हम यहाँ पे राइट करेंगे, फिर चेंजेस करेंगे और देन फील्ड नेम्स. Reads one line at a time and interval into list of line. Looping is better. Now what is different between dot read line and looping over file? Add, okay. Dot read line से reads entire file into, मतलब एक बार में पढ़ लेगा, और looping you can change in between and add conditions to a loop. CSV.reader for showing data print row. Okay, this is specifically for CSV and we have CSV file only. Also, not reader but dict reader. These are in form of dictionary, name and house. Dict reader. what is difference between header and field names? Isn't it same? So is there read line in CSV as well? There's no read lines in the CSV module, okay? It has CSV dot reader. So it takes lines from file and converts into row and can do your action on row. It's bit confusing for sure. कि क्या यूज़ करा जाए वही कंफ्यूजिंग है. Basically I want to store it into variable now. बिकॉज इट इज़ कन्फ्यूजिंग. मेरे को टाइम लग गया इसमें तो. Okay, fine. Let's commit to one thing. And if it doesn't work, okay, fine then. इसमें मैं स्टोर करूँगा अपनी वैल्यूज़, which is list of reader. ये तो बाद में कर लेंगे. Now I'll put this argument over here. कि अगर ये डबल कोट हटाना है इसमें से, so we have to go specifically into name. Fuck bro. अगेन अगर देखूँ मैं, so there is file.read, file.read lines, file.read line. This will not help. This is for CSV reader. ये basic method हो गया read line. Now CSV reader has CSV dot reader. And this returns each row as list in which there are strings. Get next row manually. ये तो कुछ काम का नहीं CSV writer. Writer dot write row. Write rows. It accepts list. Okay, you can see it accepts list. So if we open one file and use dot write rows, earlier we have stored rows in before CSV's list. It directly writes in this file, and then csa.text reader. This will get stored as dictionary. Get header names. Okay, right header, right row and ticked. Different than field names and field names. What the columns are. List of columns names. This is our column. First column and second column. Okay. Which keys to expect and the order of columns. Does not write anything to be creating the writer. Right header writes the header row. Okay. Method that writes one row to the file using field names. No header. Okay. Fine. So basically writer.write header सिर्फ जो ऑलरेडी अलॉटेड फील्ड नेम्स होता है उसको ऊपर लिख देता है. इफ़ यू डोंट राइट इट वो ऊपर नहीं जाएगा, फर्स्ट रो में नहीं जाएगा. डॉट राइट रो इज़ फॉर कि जो कि की है उसमें ऐड करने के लिए वैल्यू. फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल आई वांट टू चेक कि अगर मैं कुछ भी चेंज ना करूँ बिफोर डॉट सी एस वी में और सिर्फ 3 हेडर दे दूँ तो क्या सी एस वी मॉड्यूल समझ पाएगा उसे? You should give field names now. Is it the field names or field name? क्या है? मुझे चाहिए first, last and house. These are field names and now a right row. अगर हम यहाँ पे हमारा वेरिएबल डाल दे which includes list, then what? First online argument will be before.csv and the file which we want to create is after.csv. File not found error. No such file or directory after.csv exists. First of all we have to create it. Fine. मेरे को लगा कि when you write it you automatically it will get created, but no. Indexer list index out of range sys.arg we write 0 1 2 0 1 2 1 2, so 2 1 type error ticked writer missing one required positional argument field names. did not receive the argument named field names even though you think you passed it. अबे यार टाइपो कर दिया क्या? जी हाँ. Attribute error. List object has no attribute keys. Okay, so since we have this as list, fine. So you cannot pass list in dot dictwriter for obvious reasons. So I'm thinking कि क्या था CSV dot dict reader. What was it? जहाँ पे हम लिस्ट की जगह डिक्शनरी सेव कर सकें. This is dot dict reader for in reader. It returns dictionary. I want to see कि जो ये reader variable है, what does it store? Does it store all the dictionaries of the file f? Then we can pass reader as argument to our dict writer. Reader is not a dictionary. Reader is a dict reader object, an iterator that produces dictionary one row at a time. File object gives lines of text. Duct reader creates an iterator. Iterator reads the first line as headers, then on each iteration returns one dictionary. So reader does not equal to dictionary. Machine that gives dicts when you loop. So row is equal to this. Row is dictionary and reader is dictionary generator. So मेरे को चाहिए कि a variable which holds all the dictionary but don't want to print the row. Collect the dictionary into a list. Okay. Rows is equal to this row and rows dot append row. Okay, fine. But does that accept? So now, before CSV has all the dictionaries, now the error is list object has no attribute keys. We added dictionary to it though. If I pass that as that empty list at first and then added dictionaries, then add into it. Then add dict into it. No, what? Where this error happens, you're using csv.dictWriter internally when you call assumes X is a dictionary. So inside dictWriter, Python does something like X dot keys, X is equal to rows, which is a list. A list do not have dot keys. Expects one dictionary, not even list of dictionary. Okay. what is rows in here? रोज क्या है? मेरा लिस्ट ओके, तो ये पहले बताओ ना कि नॉट राइट रो बट राइट रोज. It will still say कि it contains fields not unfilled names. ओके सो यहाँ तक हम पहुँच गए, बट जो हमने अजम्पशन की थी कि इट विल that it will automatically CSV module will decide that it has 3 field names, but it didn't because we have double quote in here. So now what we need to do is key first of all change it, just remove dot the replace or something. I just need to remove this double quotes, then I think this will work. For row in reader, how about I change it? But ideally we want to keep this before.csv as it is. Ideally we don't want to change it. Here what I can do is append and dot the replace quotes with empty space, but ideally we want to keep it as it is, so maybe we change it over here. Okay, we have before CSV and before CSV dot append for row in before CSV. Can I do this? I am not sure because we had this object which gave us iterables, but now with just this I'm not sure. So it doesn't work on list or dictionary. We have name and house as file header. Now I can do changes in name. For this, if I check, तो after.csv में changes हो गए, मतलब fine. I wanted it quick, मतलब कि quick भी क्या है, quick से तो कोई फ़र्क नहीं पड़ेगा, but few lines of code. Now here I will do changes in name now. भाई इस GPT की प्रॉब्लम क्या है कि इट्स पहले की इंफॉर्मेशन स्टोर कर करके अगर आप तुम दे दो ना, एक एक पजल पीस से पूरा पजल सॉल्व कर देता है. हमें नहीं चाहिए, जितना पूछा इतना मत लाना. हाँ तो बेसिकली ओके, ऐसे तुम चेंज कर सकते हो. So to change one field's value, you do exactly what you do with any tick. That's it. Field names basically are then keys. We want to do changes in name. कैसे बदला जाए इसको? हमको इतना पार्ट मिल गया तो हम क्या करेंगे? कुछ तो मेथड होगा डिक्शनरी का. What is name? Name is key and a type of key. Okay, not key but value inside that key. What was that looping a method? One value like dot the replace of string. तो दिस इज रॉ नेम कैसे चेंज करें. Since we want to erase double quote only, तो मैं हम सिंगल कोट का यूज़ करेंगे बाहर. ऐसे ही कैसे पता चल सकेगा. And it's not possible to do it this way. ये समझेगा कि दो डबल कोट के बीच में एक स्पेस है, उसको चेंज करना है. But the space is not is varies with every row. No, dictionaries do not have a dot remove method. How do you remove things from a dictionary? Delete. Okay. Bye. So we don't want to delete whole key. So कैसे हटाए मेरे को समझ में ही नहीं आ रहा. Yeah, it's basically a string. तो how about हम नहीं string है फिर भी even it cannot be डॉट रिप्लेस से भी नहीं हटाया जा सकता ना इसको. फॉर लूप से हटाया जा सकता है. Bro, this fucking things do not have a dot remove method. डॉट रिप्लेस होता है, डॉट स्ट्रिप होता है, डॉट एल स्ट्रिप होता है, डॉट स्लाइसिंग. List 2 have dot remove value.
Take any questions?
I just need to remove ये दोनों चीज़ें, फिर तो हो गया. बट कैसे, क्या है ये? they all they all start with and ends with? Okay. So dot starts with तो string में लगाया जा सकता है. And what returns a string? F dot read. Fucking hell. Dot read lines, and there is no read lines in CSV.
Its testing framework.
Let me watch. मैंने देखा था कहीं पे तो same. He added a double quote somewhere.
But you're just stripping off what is really just an implementation detail in the file. Go back up to my code. How cleanly, like over the file in the same, keep that line.
Based on the
Hermione, and it will have the effect of putting
Wait. I can also split with name, but I don't want this double quote still.
in Gryffindor, the house in the literally just saying name down here now works, and I'll confess that this list initially, although this later. So let me go ahead and do this. Student, I want to show on 4, but notice I'm not this. The simply want to sort wrong. This association of name with passed in as key is called. Book is number 4, Privet Drive. Business of reading each line has vertical bars somewhere, or it might escape. It could spring code student stop self-contained maybe I could put quotes around any English string that itself contains a comma. And that's fine. I could do that, but then my code, students now, on the commas that are need to take and actually use and in commas equal. Read the document now in new line. Need returns of that later. If I problem for malformat.
How you reading a file every time?
A hint as to the order in which those columns are when writing it out, so that something that has at the end of my call to input, because recall that input returns a string or a stir.
इससे पूछते हैं इसको पता होगा अच्छा ये मैं ही हूँ क्या नहीं बताता मतलब इसको तो
Stirs come
if value in one CSV field has double quotes and you want to remove them you do it on that field's value because it's just a string name dot replace how can it work it cannot work because quotation marks के बीच में स्पेस जो है वो it's different every time क्या what the fuck it works? ये तो मेरे को पहले ही सोचा था तो ये cannot work यार. हाँ ये तो मेरे को पता है ये तो निकाल सकते हो. Then I want to remove two quotation marks. No, there are two double quotation marks, just not just one. वैसे एक निकालूंगा तो भी काम चल जाएगा. But मतलब कोई एक सोल्यूशन नहीं है क्या? थिंग इज कि ये करूँगा मैं एंड देन अगर फिर से मैं first of all let's print unsupported operation not readable. What the fuck? लाइन 164 कहाँ से आ गई? इतनी तो लाइन ही नहीं है. क्या है बे ये? सपोर्टेड ऑपरेशन नॉट ट्रीटेबल. ये सब मैंने नहीं लिखा. फाइल वर्कस्पेसेस 5.py लाइन 31. तो यहाँ पे अब चेंज हो गया। आफ्टर CSS में कहाँ चेंज हुआ? कहीं भी तो चेंज नहीं हुआ, नहीं चेंज हुआ। एग्जैक्टली टोल्ड यू नहीं चेंज हुआ। ये तो ठीक कहा। नहीं हुआ, एक कोटेशन मार्क भी नहीं किया यहाँ से तो। It should rotate row name like any other string and remove a character from it. What string method removes a specific character? Does that method change the string in place or return a new one? It's a string method. Replaces that, but replace it doesn't work right now. Does replace work? We can split, then replace. I'm tired. This basic here, but हो नहीं रहा. Okay. Already returned to disk, modifying rows afterwards does nothing. Change data then right now the other way around. That expects exactly to call an argument the name or path of a JPEG or PNG file to read as input, the same of a JPEG or PNG to write as output. Then overlay cert.png, which has a transparent background on the input after resizing and cropping the input of the to be the same size, saving the result as its output. Cert.png. The transparent background on the input after resizing and cropping the input to be the same size. Open the input with the image dot open bar below, resize and crop the input with the image dot fit bar below. Using default values for method bleed and centering, overlay the cert with save the result with image save bar. The program should instead exit versus exit if the user does not specify. Okay. Assume that the input will be a photo of someone posing in just the right way, like that they are resized and crop the cert appears to fit perfectly. If you'd like to run your program on a photo of yourself, first like the photo over to okay. Okay, forget. I'm going to play some chess and then go. If I take bishop takes and push, this pawn cannot push. Let's try to play bishop to a3. And then I can support it. Hey, no. Okay, this is fine. It's supported. Of course, bishop. I can also play this. Pawn takes, bishop takes. Okay, again. He is not threatening anything. Castle. Don't have much time. This will always be helpful. Take with the 9, take with the pawn. Take with the pawn. I also could have played bishop to d3. Bishop d3 would have been useful as well. Okay. Somehow I want control of f4. So that's why d3 तो बहुत ही अच्छा हो जाता. बस bishop d3 I can come to e2 with knight and so चलो वही करते हैं. एक मूव ईस्ट टू वेस्ट. I have to move कहाँ लेकिन. ओके उसने कंट्रोल ले लिया उसको. pawn takes, knight takes, fine. ये तो इशू हो गया. पक्का इशू हो गया तो. अगर ये यहाँ पे नहीं होता तो अच्छा वर्क कर जाता. can defend with hello bro or Jamal. Oh fuck, गए भाई. Third year. Okay, I'm threatening bishop f2. Bishop f2, he avoided that. Can you also subscribe, brother? Okay, I have a very good move. I do have that idea. Oh fuck, अबे यार यहाँ से लेना था. मिस क्लिक हो गई. I'm from गुजरात. भाई बिशप से लेना था यार. Okay, this is good as well. नहीं वैसे मेरे को नाइट से लेना था. So he cannot take. But this is fine. Okay. Oh, e5 is there. Good move. Can I long castle? देखा ही नहीं मैंने तो. He will want to trade queens, which I don't want. It's going bad. He should play queen f5. Yes, hit it. अच्छा नहीं जा रहा ये तो. Bishop is doing nothing. He bishop stuck है. Obviously, I should have played bishop d3 instead of b3 when his queen attacked me. तो वहाँ पे bishop d3 would have made a lot of difference. I can also could have also played e2 some. Okay, now this I don't like क्योंकि मैं तो trade कर लूँगा. Now this pawn is hanging for sure. He will take, of course. ये भी कैसे मिस कर दिया मैंने. ये भी मिस कर दिया. छी. Now I'm threatening knight e4. Don't like. वीकनेस क्रिएट हो गई थोड़ी सी. Very good movie, yaar. I don't know if the trap works or not. He takes with the rook, I take with the rook, and there is knight c3. But see, let's see. It worked for now. Fuck, I had to play the queen a5. Five 0.7 seconds. This pawn will stay hanging. He doesn't have any way to protect it, honestly. Is entering. I think, yeah, I can win this. स्टिल में थोड़ी करना है तेरे को मैंने. चलो. Tada, see you. Bye bye.